Hello again, folks. I am Blunty, and loyal viewers will notice I'm wearing my DigiDIRECT duds today because this is a cross-posting video of today's episode of DigiDIRECT TV, and I'm cross-posting it here on my channel because, again, it's one of those episodes that is about a product that I've had a lot of interest about on this, my main personal channel. So, without further ado, let's find out all about the brand new spanky shininess of the just announced Canon 70D and my first opportunity to go hands-on with the thing.
And now our feature presentation.
Hello Shadowbuggers, I am Blunty, this is DigiDIRECT TV, and in this week's episode, I turn into a ginormous liar. I don't know what you're thinking to yourself. How can someone so upright, so full of integrity suddenly become a liar? Well, remember in last week's episode where I told you this week's episode would be a review of a nifty little gadget that everyone out there would want to own because it was so useful and well made and affordable and it was just brilliant and I was really excited to show it off, and well, that's not going to happen now, so technically I'm a liar. But it's not happening for a very good reason, because as I was preparing that episode, I got an email from the guys at the store and they said, hey, what are you doing Wednesday? Because we've got one of the Canon guys coming in to show off an engineering sample of the brand new, shiny, bright, gleaming hoop of Canon APS-C DSLR video shooters out there, the Canon 70D. So of course, what else was I going to do? I dropped everything I was doing, I headed into the store and I got some hands-on with Canon's new Great White Hope. Well, Great Black Hope, really, because it only comes in black. I mean, we're not dealing with Pentax here, shove out wonderful, wonderful colors in every direction. No, it's all just all black with Canon, unless you're talking about the lenses, in which case they're white, which makes them look funny on the black bodies. And there is a reason why they're white, but I'm drifting off track. Now, the good news is the Canon man was very kind and I got plenty of time to fiddle with it and have a little play and mess with the settings and menus and put a couple of different lenses on there and experiment and just generally have some fun with bright, shiny new gear. Well, again, not bright and shiny because it's black, but the bad news is I wasn't able to put my own memory card in there and take some shots and video to be able to show you, because it was just an engineering sample and Mr. Canon man was all like, no, you can't do that, no, I'd lose my job if they found out I let you do that, no. Stop waffling, Blunty. The people don't want to hear you prattling on, they just want to see the camera. So here, have a look at the camera. Canon are promising the new EOS 70D will be a game changer, especially when it comes to shooting video. And it just might be, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, I want to take a quick glance at the physical differences over the 3-year-old 60D it replaces. My 3-year-old 60D, as it happens. Physically, there's only minor differences, but the 70D's grip does feel slightly nicer to me, and the subtle adjustment to the position and angle of the shutter button is nice. Size, weight, construction, and general handling are all very similar in most other respects, though. The only significant change to usability is the removal of the dedicated mode dial position for video, which has been replaced by the dual mode live view switch, allowing you to pop into video mode instantly regardless of where the mode dial is actually sitting. 2 flaps replace the 60D's singular flap, which covers the USB port, HDMI connection, the remote interface connector, and the microphone input. Sadly lacking, though, is a headphone jack for properly monitoring the audio, which, in a camera boasting such big advances in video shooting, is a very annoying omission in my opinion. The top screen is virtually identical as the 60D's, as are the buttons up top, but the addition of the touchscreen does add an additional way to fiddle with your settings. The menu system has a few extra options buried in there to go along with the new and improved feature set, including the new Wi-Fi controls, of course, but the structure of the menu system is very much the same and very familiar to any Canon shooter out there. The 70D also now sports 19 cross-type autofocus points versus the 60D's 9, and the high ISO performance has been kicked up a notch or two as well. But obviously not being permitted to pop in my own memory card so I could properly examine the shots on a computer limited what I could see of those differences. But from the screen on the back of the camera, it certainly looks like a very noticeable improvement. No real shock considering the camera it's replacing is 3 years old and a lot has happened in sensor technology in those 3 years. But the big new thing is a brand new sensor technology Canon have been beavering away on in their secret laboratories. Laboratories? Anyway, they call it a dual pixel CMOS sensor. And dumbed down from engineering and nerd speak, basically, each pixel on the sensor has not one, as is normal, but two light-sensing photodiodes. So when focusing, instead of looking for a contrast difference, which is what makes most other DSLRs hunt back and forth while trying to find and lock in focus, the dual pixel stuff works much more like a phase detect system. And phase detect systems don't work in live mode on normal sensors. That's why focus is so fast when you're using the optical viewfinder of a DSLR and so much slower in live view on cameras like the 60D. And in practice, here in the real world, I'm here to tell you, it works amazingly well. Super smooth focus transitions, quite fast, although obviously speed will depend on the lens you're using, as not all focusing motors are built the same and not all lenses were designed with video in mind in the first place. But the 70D seemed to do an extremely good job at drifting to a new focus point and locking in without having to hunt or hesitate or anything. And compared to its predecessor, it is a universe of difference. Suddenly, shooting video on a DSLR with autofocus is practical, and beyond that, useful and reliable. Until now, the only DSLR-type cameras to offer this kind of autofocus performance was Sony's gang of butt kickers with their clever translucent mirror technology. But this at last is Canon's counterpunch. And of course that touchscreen can now be used as a point and prod focus system too. Tap on where you want the focus to move and the camera obeys with crazy smooth focus pulls. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure I could do a focus pull this smoothly manually with a full-on focus pulling rig and rails and everything. If I sound impressed, it's because I was, and am. No hunting, no hesitation, just smooth, responsive and apparently very accurate focus, although again, as I wasn't permitted to pull any footage off the camera onto a computer so I could examine it properly, I can't give it the final thumbs up on that factor just yet, but it seemed quite good. But that clever new focus system isn't the only massive improvement to the video mode. It must not go without mentioning either that the video recording modes now also feature a new all-I-frame option. For the non-video nerds out there, this is called Interframe, and it basically means every frame of video is individually computed and compressed, which does leave you dealing with much larger files at the end of the day, but delivers a significantly improved image quality over the more memory card space and CPU efficient Interframe method, which is used in its predecessors and many other cameras out there on the market as a matter of fact. To dumb it all the way down, I'll just say this. As a video nerd myself, I am very happy it's there, and so should anybody else who cares more about image quality than memory card space. Mr. Canon Man also brought it along with the new 18 to 135mm lens, one of the two kit lens options. But I was standing in the middle of a DigiDIRECT store and I was surrounded by lenses, so of course we also tried some other options, like the Canon EF 85mm f1.8 L series lens, which was never designed with video in mind and wide open has a very shallow depth of field to make video even trickier, but even it was behaving reasonably well when asked to do the new smooth focus pulling trick. And, as luck would have it, a small batch of the brand new, hotly anticipated Sigma 18-35 f1.8 lenses had literally just arrived like an hour before Mr. Canon Man stepped in, so I slapped one of these exciting new bad boys on there, and what I got was a match made in heaven. The fast, wide, groundbreaking Sigma zoom played perfectly with the 70D's new focus system. So smooth, so clean, so wonderful, so exciting. And I'm getting in on the ground floor on this one. I'm claiming this now. Blunty said it. The 70D and the Sigma 18-35 f1.8 are going to be the combo to get, and I will be encouraging the guys in the DigiDIRECT store to put some sort of combo package deal together, maybe with a Rode VideoMic Pro, a nice big fast SanDisk SD card or two, maybe one of Manfrotto's excellent video monopods that I use all the time, maybe a nice new bag to put it all in, and you've got yourself a killer rig for video. But I'm starting to slide off track a bit here. So, the 70D hits sometime in September in two kits, one with the standard 18-55mm lens, the other one with that new 18-135mm lens, which I was testing on, and which seemed like a damn fine bit of glass. And of course, for upgraders with a bag of lenses already, a body-only option will be available. The Aussie price has yet to be completely nailed down. I did ask Mr. Canon Man several times, but he refused to answer me. Even he doesn't know yet. So keep an eye on digidirect.com.au for that. So there you go, guys. finally a Canon DSLR with an APS-C size sensor in there that's exciting and actually new because, well, to be honest, it's hard to buy a bad Canon DSLR camera these days. You can't walk into a store and go, I want that Canon DSLR, and you walk out and go, well, this is crappy, I don't like it. No, you know, they're all pretty decent. But now I'm full of excitement and enthusiasm. I've gone hands-on with the thing. I'm already revved up about it. And I was very, very clear to Mr. Canon Man that the very instant he has a proper one, a retail version that I can go out and shoot with and take my own memory card in it and show you guys the video and the photos that come out of this thing, I want it in my hands immediately. But anyway, that's your lot for this week in DigiDirect TV. I need to sit down and sort of take a few deep breaths. I've got myself all overexcited again, I think. Join us each and every Wednesday for a new episode of DigiDirect TV. Join us on the Google Plus community group page to share your shots and talk with other people and sort of get some feedback and all that sort of stuff. Email me if you have any suggestions about stuff you want to look at in the show. Don't bother emailing me about that Sigma lens because, yes, I will be reviewing it. And, of course, subscribe to us here on the YouTube to get new episodes delivered to you each and every Wednesday. But now, seriously, I need to calm down. I'm all hyped up and thingy, and now see what happens when I do the get excited and my words don't spill out of my gob properly. So I'm just gonna breathe for a second. That's not acting. That's not me hamming it up, by the way. I literally did get too overexcited while thinking about the potential of the camera and the words stopped thinging out of my hole. Thinging out of my hole. Yeah, that's an outtake. DigiDirect TV, where your host Blunty has things falling out of his hole.